Bom dia, New Moons. I am Josie the Mustang, the Afro-Latina, Regina George of Witches, and you're aligned with the frequency of the Lua Nova podcast. And as you can hear, I am still getting over a sinus infection, and this episode was recorded right after the last one. So don't think that I went several weeks still sounding like this. No, I needed to record these episodes back to back because, as I mentioned, sorry, I just accidentally hit the microphone. As I mentioned in the last episode, I got a lot going on outside of Lua Nova, and so I did need to make sure that these episodes were ready and scheduled. That way I could get them right on out to you. So there is a series that I have been working on for a while, and it is related to people who are entrepreneurs, business owners, or want to start a business. And I wanted to make an affirmation episode for those very people because sometimes we need that push. But as you know, when it comes to affirmations, I always tell people, if you're not feeling it, then come back to that episode or, obviously I'm not the only person who does affirmation related episodes. Come back to it at a different time. Because when you are saying or listening to affirmations that you don't really believe, you're actually building negative momentum. So I don't want that. So if you're not in the right headspace for this, I completely understand. And I just want you to come back to this episode at a different time. And I completely get where you're coming from. We got to be in the right headspace when it comes to affirmations of any kind. All right. And for those of you who are, feel free to just, the next time you want to listen to this episode, skip right ahead to the affirmations. I will try to put a timestamp. I know that whenever there's ads, that timestamp can be off depending on where the ads are placed. Okay. But I am going to jump right into those. I do also want to say to new listeners and listeners who have not done so already to go to luanovapodcast.net in order to read the entire disclaimer, okay? But let's go ahead and get to those affirmations for you. To book a personal tarot reading with me, submit your question for the 6th House Virgo segment, or read the full disclaimer, which includes spiritual consent and listener responsibility, visit the official Lua Nova website, which is luanovapodcast.net. To become a Patreon member, download the Patreon app or visit patreon.com/the Lua Nova podcast. For those of you who said that you really enjoy the collective readings or you just want to support Lua Nova, you can do so directly via Venmo or Cash App. The Venmo username is @LuaNova. The Cash App username is $Lua Nova Podcast. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Obrigada. My business grows because I keep showing up as my authentic self, and I show up consistently. I make space for good things to happen. The better I feel, the better my business runs. What I offer makes life better for someone, and that matters. New ideas come to me when I am relaxed and not rushed. I am building something that gets easier the more that I enjoy it. I built a company that I would still believe in, even if no one clapped. Momentum can be quiet. I don't need noise to know that I am making the right moves. My ideas don't have to go viral in order to be valuable. I get better at this every time that I choose not to quit. So since today's episode is an affirmation episode, there will not be a collective reading, but I did reach out to Spirit, so I'm just waiting to hear back. Oh, we got a text from Spirit. And the text from Spirit this week says, boop, 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 boop. It says 12:12, balance and harmony. Seek balance and harmony in all aspects of your life. It will lead to peace and success. All right. I like that. I say that a lot. Obrigada, new moons, for aligning with the frequency of the Lua Nova podcast. And before I wrap up today's episode, I just want to say that Mercury really tried it this time. At the time that you are hearing this, Mercury is no longer in retrograde, but it's still in its post-shadow phase. And what that means is that there can still be issues with communication, there can still be delays, and there can still be certain missteps that we have. And Mercury completely goes direct and is out of all of these wonky phases on August the 25th. So yes, the retrograde does end on August the 11th, or did end on August the 11th. But if like myself, you're struggling with a sore throat, things like that, especially if, you're a Virgo or a Gemini, our energy is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. So other podcasters, content creators, anything where you have to use your voice, just, I understand, and take care of yourself, please, because, we went through it during this one. Leo, I hope you're okay. I know that this was a tough one on Leo as well. And I've never, had an illness just kind of come out of nowhere like this one did. So I'm not a fan. I hope that I sound like myself next episode. And again, you all know how to find me. You can go to luanovapodcast.net. You can join the Patreon. Thank you to those of you who send Venmo and Cash Apps. You don't have to, but I definitely appreciate it. That is how the team grows. That is how I'm able to get things for Lua Nova, etc. And all of that is in the show notes if you want to see the links for it. All right, new moons. Ciao.